He makes me laugh, so it brought the joy back into my life, It's like I was angry and emotional all the time. And it's not because he's always making me laugh, He keeps me, on the upside, not on the downside. And he's not positive.
The biggest challenge for me with HIV is finding someone to have a relationship with. One that is authentic, and as I would tell my girlfriends, the good, the bad, and the ugly.
I am in a committed monogamous relationship with an individual who is HIV negative, and we have been dating for 2 years now. I disclosed to him early on in our relationship, and he was very accepting about my status.
There was a time where I was celibate for almost a year, and I would never have done that. I was in my, how old was I? God, I was in my late 20s, and, I did that for a reason because of my diagnosis, I started looking at things differently, and I didn't want to continue to have the same type of sexual life that I had had prior to that point in my life. So I had to make a dramatic change.
Just because you're living with this disease does not mean that your body stops working and your hormones and your feelings don't stop.
At first, I kind of backed away from the sex. So I'm in a different relationship now. So, it's all about being safe. So you need to cover it up, do whatever it takes. Condoms, female, male, hey, whatever it takes. The joy is still there.
When I was out there drinking and partying and using drugs, it didn't really matter, you know what I mean? But at another point in my life, I felt like, it was my responsibility to let people know and to find out what they had. It's not just HIV at this point I had to worry about. I had to worry about catching other STDs, which actually happened because I had negotiated sex with another to have unprotected sex with another positive person. We talked about it and we said, yeah. And it became kind of like habit with, a couple of people, but they were sleeping with other people, as was I, but they, gave me STDs a couple of times. So, that changed that. I'm like, well, I need to have protected sex all the time.
You want to protect the other person as well, but the most thing you want to be able to make sure that nothing else comes back to you because it could affect your immune system.
I grew into safer sex conversation, negotiating sexual conditions or what we could do based on my status, because I felt like it was my responsibility as someone who contracted it from promiscuous sex. I mean, I felt like I needed to not only protect other people, but protect myself. And then also it was an opportunity to educate people, because I would meet people, out there a lot. And there was a lot of sexual opportunity, but it changed my sexual habits dramatically.
I use my doctor for a lot of questions that I have with my partner. What are risky behaviors, sex? What can I do? What can I not do? What happens if, he swallows or he spits, What happens, if there's semen exposed? And we'd go get tested every 3 months.
I don't care what people say about me and having this. This does not define who I am. What it is a diagnosis, and that's all that it is. And speaking in spiritual terms, that worked for me.
We're gonna have some good times. We're gonna have some bad times. And whatever you do, take care of yourself, because you can live with this disease beyond just the diagnosis.